I did catch the Iron Claw, which is the latest. It's directed by Sean Durkin. And this is the true story of the inseparable Von Erich brothers who make history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 80s. Through tragedy and triumph, under the shadow of their domineering father and coach, the brothers seek larger-than-life immortality on the biggest stage in sports. And this film stars Zac Efron. He's the oldest of the Von Erich brothers, I believe. I could be wrong with that. But we also get Jeremy Allen White from The Bear. He plays Kerry Von Erich. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who plays Lance Von Erich. Lily James, that's going to be Kevin Von Erich's, eventually his wife. Harris Dickinson, who plays David Von Erich. We also get a Aaron Dean Eisenberg, plays a terrible Ric Flair. I gotta call him out. But Holt McCallany, he was great in this. You might have seen him from Mindhunter on Netflix. He's one of the FBI agents, but he's playing Fritz Von Erich, who's the father of all of these guys. And we also get Stanley Simmons, who plays Mike Von Erich. So how many is that so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Yeah. So then we get some other guys who show up as other characters. Somebody's playing the Iron Sheik, but we don't really spend a lot of times with those guys. They're usually in the ring, and we just know from the announcer, oh, he's throwing a hold on Iron Sheik, because this film doesn't really focus a lot on the wrestling or the in-match stuff. I think it's so much as just the dynamics of this family. I mean, it definitely plays a backdrop, but this isn't a film that's about wrestling matches. You know, it's really about the tragedy of this family, which is, like I said, it's a true life story. Like I said in the description, and the big thing about them, it seems like there was a family curse with this family, man, and all the brothers damn near just had really bad outcomes in their lives during this period of their lives, you know. And I mean, I don't think I'm being spoilery because it is, you know, biography and this stuff's been out there. There's a really popular episode of Dark Side of the Ring you could check out on Tubi that also covers this. I actually watched that after I saw this film, but I did not know that this family had this happen to them. You know, I just remember that move, the Iron Claw, from watching wrestling. You know, you grab a dude's head and you squeeze it, and that was even in pro wrestling on Nintendo back in the day. One of the characters could do that move. That's how big of an impact, you know, this family had. But it is tragic, man. It is really well acted, man. I gotta give Zac Efron props, man. They all did the physical transformation stuff. I don't know what they do in Hollywood. I feel like they do a couple of void cycles and hit the gym real hard, but they did the physical effort of it, man. And the performances are great, man. This is probably one of the best kind of melodramas you're going to see this year. If you're into, you know, really deep, heavy performances, and it just sucks that it is mostly of a tragic nature. But here's one thing I found out after the film. There was actually another brother that they left out of the film who died. And they said the producers did that because they felt like what happened in the movie was already just too much for the audience. And I was like, that's crazy. I was like, that's kind of crazy, though. You just left this guy out of history. Like, I don't know how I should feel about that. Like, you got to give us it all or give us none of it. Like, But yeah, man, it's a great story, man. I feel like you know, if there's justice, this thing will probably get something during award seasons or some nominations coming out of it. Like I said, man, I think my favorite, who I think had the strongest performances, is definitely going to be Zac Efron. And Jeremy Allen White was great as this too, man. Kerry, and because he's kind of like the football player brother. And he comes back after his football career washes out. It's kind of like the war has done it to him in a way, you know. So I think he's supposed to go to the Olympic team or something like this happens. I forgot, man, what it was. And he loses his shot. So, and his father has this kind of like, yeah, man, the same thing happened to me when I tried that. It's like, why don't you come be a wrestler? And really, what this film I think about ultimately, I mean, despite the tragedy, one thing at the center of it is the father Fritz kind of wanting to dominating his son's lives in a way to, I guess he's trying to live through them vicariously and get them to achieve the heights that he felt like he was never able to achieve, which is to push into this wrestling business. And it's also interesting that he also is a part owner of the promotion that they wrestle for, man. So it is a weird time too, where some of the territories are starting to consolidate, and you know, they're doing all right in their territory, but you could kind of feel the encroachment of Vince McMahon and other stuff. You know, it's coming down. They don't really get too deep with it, but you could feel, you know, the tide is changing. They're even talking about how they can keep drawing the people in and stuff like. So there's some cool behind the scenes stuff with that. But for the most part, the meat of this is the drama and stuff. And I think it's really worth a watch, man. They did a great job on this. Just get your tissues ready and get ready to enjoy one of the best films I think that came out this year. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.